Test Track is officially closed in Epcot. Universal Studios gave us all the details on Dark Universe. We got rides, we got restaurants. A new character has debuted in the parks, and we've got some very tragic Disney snack news. All the latest theme park news is coming up right now here on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. We are ready to jump into all the latest news from this week. This is a long one, settle in. We're starting this week off with some very exciting Universal Orlando news. Universal has announced the rides that will be part of Dark Universe at the upcoming Epic Universe opening in 2025. Dark Universe's signature attraction is going to be the massive e-ticket level Monsters Unchained: The Frankenstein Experiment. Located in the facade of a massive manor, this ride's official synopsis from Universal reads, Dr. Victoria Frankenstein continues the work of her ancestors deep below the family estate. A demonstration of her experiments to control monsters goes awry when Dracula leads a revolt of enraged monsters, including the Wolfman, the Mummy, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and more. According to Universal, the attraction will be a state-of-the-art dark ride that will defy what you think of a theme park attraction. The attraction's ride system has long been rumored to be a Kuga arm vehicle similar to Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, which seems to be verified by vehicles that look quite similar in the newly released concept art. They also claim that the ride will have the most technologically advanced animated figures ever built. The land's second attraction will be a spinning family coaster themed to the Wolfman called Curse of the Werewolf. Guests will enter the Guild of Mystics and be greeted by Maleva, the guild's all-knowing seer and leader, who warns them that they bear the mark of the werewolf. Guests then board a wagon and venture into the forest, racing to escape the werewolves before they become one themselves. In addition to these two major attractions, Dark Universe will also feature a monster makeup experience, transforming guests of all ages with face paint and temporary tattoos. Now, let's talk about the food we can expect in this land. First up is Das Steakhouse, a quick service restaurant that is themed around an old inn and dining hall built over the ruins of ancient catacombs. The name is not only a play on the Eastern European setting of vampire lore, but a literal play on words. Steak instead of steak as it relates to vampires, pretty funny. The restaurant will feature vampire artwork and artifacts, and meals will be served by familiars, also known as vampire servants. The menu will feature burgers, kebabs, sandwiches, and more. Next up, Dark Universe is going to host the Burning Blade Tavern, a quick service restaurant that pays homage to the iconic windmill from Universal's 1931 classic Frankenstein. Surrounded by trophy heads of conquered monsters, diners will be able to enjoy a menu of burgers, pretzels, wings, bratwurst, and specialty beverages while they listen to tales of victory from the hunters. Additionally, Universal teased that this tavern will erupt into flames several times an hour. Sure, of course it will. To accomplish this, Universal is going to use two types of fuel to create different types of visibility during the day and evening. Lastly, Universal announced a new snack stand called DeLacy's Cottage, located near Frankenstein Manor. This stand pays homage to where Frankenstein monster received friendship and sustenance. DeLacy's Cottage will serve sweets and snacks, including ice cream, cinnamon bread, twisted taters, and more. If the twisted taters are like the ones we've tried at Halloween Horror Nights, we can vouch that they're an excellent addition to the land. Finally, there will be several meet and greet opportunities in the land, giving guests the opportunity to interact with characters, including but not limited to Dr. Victoria Frankenstein's monster and the alluring bride of Frankenstein, Victoria Frankenstein's servant Igor, and the Invisible Man, who's an eccentric monster hunter and a talented musician who regales guests with songs and tales related to classic monster stories. You can read even more on our website, and I want to know your thoughts. Would you go? Are you pumped? Or is this totally not your thing? Maybe you'll visit the rest of Epic Universe and just skip over this one? Let me know. Just when we thought all the walls were down in Epcot, Disney puts more up. Heads up, Test Track is now closed as of June 17th. Yep, Test Track is getting a refurbishment, complete with some nods to the old ride, World of Motion. This is going to mark the third version of this attraction, and we're excited to see what sort of changes come out of this one. The ride will continue to be sponsored by Chevrolet. General Motors, the parent company of Chevrolet, has been a longtime sponsor of this pavilion, and Disney announced that both Disney Imagineers and teams from Chevrolet will be working together to reach back into history to reimagine this ride. In fact, the new reimagining will be inspired by the original attraction that came before Test Track, and I am so excited that we're going to get a few pieces of World of Motion back in Epcot. That was one of my favorite, probably my favorite, although I'm in love with Horizons as well, in 80s Epcot, so I'm just super jazzed about that. I will probably cry. Now, Disney hasn't shared any sort of timeline on when we can expect the ride to reopen, like literally none, but we'll be on the lookout for more details. Since Star Tours received its Adventure Continues refurb in the early 2010s, the iconic Star Wars-based attraction in Hollywood Studios has seen many scenes added to its repertoire of interchangeable adventures as new Star Wars projects have been released. Now, after several weeks where every ride featured the latest batch of new scenes, we heard the attraction was returning to its unpredictable glory and knew we had to find out for ourselves. The latest additions to Star Tours, The Adventure Continues, debuted in April in Disney World and featured characters from 3 of the most successful Star Wars shows on Disney+, Ahsoka, Andor, and The Mandalorian. As has been the case for several of the most recent additions, the new scenes were locked into the ride's narrative for a couple of months. However, as of June 17th, we can confirm that Star Tours is back to being a fully randomized experience with the new Disney+ scenes integrated into the randomization sequence. And in the words of a cast member, everything is unlocked. Star Tours, The Adventure Continues has returned to its randomized glory at Walt Disney World, at least for now. Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2 has been a massive hit at the box office since its release on June 14th, so it only makes sense that fans of the film will want to see these characters in the Disney parks. While one emotion has recently appeared at Disney's Hollywood Studios, another has made his meet and greet debut at the Disneyland Resort. Anger from Inside Out is now meeting guests at Disney California Adventure. The popular Inside Out and Inside Out 2 character can be found greeting guests at the Pixar Promenade character meet and greet spot in the Pixar Pier area of California Adventure. Anger has joined other Pixar characters in the festivities for the Disneyland Resort's ongoing Pixar Fest, which will end its run on August 4th, 2024. And I don't care if he is angry, he's adorable. Planning a Disney Cruise Line vacation? Considering a trip aboard the new Disney Treasure cruise ship? Disney just released a bunch of new details on 2025-2026 cruise line trips, and we've got the updates. We have a new look at the Disney Cruise Line itineraries from fall 2025 to spring 2026. Now's the time to start booking those vacations. Let's start with a look at the cruises that travel to Mexico. Options include 3, 4, and 7-night trips to Cozumel, Progreso, Ensenada, and Catalina Island. You can cruise with the Disney Magic or the Disney Wonder. If you're interested in sailing to the Bahamas and the Caribbean, you got plenty of options. Disney's offering 3, 5, and 7-night sailings to the Bahamas, Eastern and Western Caribbean, plus one of Disney's private island destinations. Options include Castaway Cay or Lookout Cay, and dates range from October 2025 to May 2026. If you're looking for a longer cruise, you can travel all the way to Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pacific aboard the Disney Wonder. Disney has 3 to 10-night sailings and even some Halloween on the high seas and very maritime cruises. So be sure to check the calendar before you book your trip. Holiday cruises are offered on select dates in September and October, and November and December. If you want to learn more about cruising with Disney, check out our latest video all about Disney's new cruise destination, Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. Disney World's been debuting new buses over the past few months, and we were excited to spot another new bus wrap. We think this new bus wrap is gorgeous. It's based on The Princess and the Frog and features Tiana, Naveen, Louis, Eudora, and Charlotte. We have seen numerous new bus wraps debut recently, including an Orange Bird one, a Zootopia one, a Ratatouille one, and more. Along with the new wraps, the Disney buses are also getting a makeover inside, don't forget. The new buses have the ability to carry more guests with scooters, are equipped with charging ports, and feature onboard Wi-Fi like the other buses did, but there's more charging ports for you now. The debut of this new bus wrap comes at the perfect time as Tiana's Bayou Adventure is opening in Magic Kingdom soon. Recently, one of the boat routes in Disney World has been closed because of low water levels, but it is back. Yep, Hotel Perk unlocked. The Sassagoula riverboats take Disney World visitors between Disney Springs and Disney's Old Key West Resort, Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa, Disney's Port Orleans Resort Riverside, and Disney's Port Orleans Resort French Quarter. These ferries are such a nice way for these guests to get between Disney Springs and their hotels. But since late April, the riverboats have been closed because the water level had gotten so low during a dry spring. All that changed last weekend, though. Extended rain raised the water levels enough for the boats to start running again. So if you're checking into one of those hotels soon, don't worry, you can take a boat again. Construction walls may be down around Communicore Hall and Plaza at Epcot, but we spotted some that went up overnight at Magic Kingdom. Looks like Disney's doing construction out in front of the Plaza restaurant on Main Street, USA. In typical Disney fashion, they matched the walls to the facade to keep up the theming. When we headed over to grab some more photos and investigate, we asked a nearby cast member if they could tell us what was going on. Officially, they weren't able to tell us much of anything, but did say that it might be a little bit shadier in this area soon. We hope that cast member is right, because Disney World can always use more shade in our opinion. The good news is that the dining room is still operating, so this construction won't impact any potential reservations you might have or plan to make, at least for now. We're also not sure how long these walls are going to be up, as the cast member we spoke with didn't indicate an end date, but we're hopeful they won't be around for long. Okay, I've got some very sad news for y'all. Here at DFB, we take a look through Disney World's menus every single day. Yep, every menu for every restaurant. And this week we noticed something that gave us a jolt. Hush Puppies were gone from the Columbia Harbor House menu. Columbia Harbor House is that fan favorite quick service restaurant in Magic Kingdom. It serves up fried fish, chicken tenders, and a bunch more goodies along with sides like French fries and Hush Puppies. Well, it did serve Hush Puppies. Surely they're not gone. It has to be a mistake. It's one of our favorite things to eat in Magic Kingdom. So one of our reporters hustled on over to Liberty Square to check, and it wasn't a mistake. They are off the menu. Cast members said they didn't think they're coming back and that they don't understand the change either, because Hush Puppies were a very popular side here. Also, some new things have been added to the menu, so this is a total menu revamp. It's not like Hush Puppy supplier people decided to raise their prices or whatever. I think there's just a lot of change going on at CHH at the moment. Now we've got a shrimp skewer platter, fried shrimp platter, shrimp salad, fish platter, and chicken platter. And there's a new vegan item as well, the crispy mushroom roll, and it looks great. We didn't get a chance to stop and try these new items yet, but rest assured we'll be back soon with a review of what's new at Columbia Harbor House. So keep following DFB for the latest Disney food news. Just please sign our petition to bring back Hush Puppies in Magic Kingdom. No, we haven't started a petition yet, but maybe we should. Disney just quietly updated their website with some big updates coming soon for Fantasmic dining packages. Here's how the Fantasmic dining package works. You make a reservation at a select restaurant in Disney's Hollywood Studios and pay a set price for a meal that includes a few courses, a non-alcoholic drink, and a voucher for reserved seating for a Fantasmic evening show. So it's basically a way to get a guaranteed seat for Fantasmic and also get a meal. Here are those big announcements though. According to the Disney World website, the prices for the Fantasmic dining packages are about to go up on August 29th. Surprise, surprise. But there's also some good news. The packages will include one alcoholic beverage for those in the party who are 21 and older. Heads up that you can use the Disney dining plan for your dining package. You'll use one table service credit for 50s Primetime, Hollywood and Vine, Mama Melrose, and Sci-Fi Dine-In, and you'll use 2 table service credits for Hollywood Brown Derby. If you're interested in booking a dining package, click the link down below for our article explaining every detail you need to know. One Magic Kingdom quick service spot just added a new lunch option to its menu and a tasty sweet treat, and both are solid choices that you're going to want to try soon. Okay, so we know most of you go to Gaston's Tavern for one thing and one thing only, that amazing cinnamon roll, but that's not the only thing you should be paying attention to on the menu anymore. We recently noticed a few new things added here, including a ham and Gruyere tart for $9.49, made with crispy croissant dough topped with ham and Gruyere served with chips. We have one word for this tart. It was spectacular. The crust is soft and buttery and flaky. The ham is savory and salty and adds the perfect chew. The melted Gruyere on top adds a creamy and lovely cheesiness that's almost like fondue. Then there are the green onions, that crunch and touch of tanginess. We have zero complaints about this, and we will be ordering it for lunch many more times. It's not super heavy either, which is especially nice in the summer, but still filling enough to be a meal. We also tried the creme brulee croissant for $5.29. You get a crispy croissant dough filled with vanilla bean custard. First, get the napkin, because this is messy. With that being said, the croissant dough isn't quite as fluffy, but it's still soft, and the caramelization on top is sweet and sticky with a hint of char flavor. It adds a nice texture to the croissant as a whole. Inside's a lot of yummy vanilla bean custard with a light vanilla flavor. If you love croissants or even filled donuts, this could be the sweet treat you're looking for. A few days ago, the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor introduced the new S'mores Shake. This sweet treat is $8.99 and made with chocolate ice cream blended with marshmallows and graham cracker crumbles, topped with whipped cream, graham cracker crumbles, mini marshmallows, and hot fudge. Immediately, our first thought was that this is a lot of chocolate. The chocolate ice cream is rich and smooth, very delicious, but if you are not a chocoholic, you'll want to skip this one. There's also a decent amount of hot fudge inside that adds a richer chocolate flavor. The marshmallows helped tone down the chocolate a little bit, and they had a nice variety to the texture. There are marshmallow chunks and chocolate chips throughout the shake, and we really liked those flavors and textures, but they kept getting stuck in the milkshake straw, which made it a challenge to drink. We would recommend getting a spoon to help you with all those chunks. The other flavors overshadow the graham cracker a little bit, but we didn't mind. Ultimately, we thought this was super delicious, just challenging to drink and very, very sweet. La Cantina de San Angel in Mexico in Epcot just added a new churro sundae to their menu, which is made of mango Dole Whip layered with whipped cream and topped with lime Dole Whip and colorful green, red, and white sprinkles for $7.99. Now, the churro sundae has been around for a while, but this is a definite Mexican flag change. At first glance, it's really pretty to look at with a commanding presentation. There are several small bites of churros stuck into the lime Dole Whip at the top of the treat to call it a churro sundae. The lime flavor was bright and fruity, and when we dug into the middle, the lime and mango flavors were divided by a full layer of sugary whipped cream. The mango was fruity and sugary and really tasted like you would expect it to, but where this whole thing lost us was its namesake, the churros. Disney World's churros are notorious for being kind of tough and crunchy on the outside, and this treat's churro bites were no exception. All in all, this is an okay treat if you're really looking for something sweet and cold to cool off with, but we wouldn't have you count on the churros being the softest. It was a nice summery treat that's going to take the edge off in the heat and distract you long enough to enjoy the lime and mango flavors, but you'll want to start digging right away before it gets super melty on you. So there are 2 new items at a popular fast food spot that you'll want to consider on your next Epcot day. We stopped by Connections Eatery to try the new plant-based black bean burger for $13.49. This is a house-made black bean burger topped with lettuce, tomato, guacamole, and chipotle sauce on a toasted brioche bun. The first thing our reporter tasted was the sweetness of the brioche bun, but then you get that earthy black bean flavor paired with the bright green flavor of the avocado, and then suddenly the heat kicks in and sits on the tongue a bit, but doesn't turn into a full burn. We loved it. The consistency of the black bean burger is mushy, but not in a way that grossed us out, more in a way that made us feel like we were eating real food instead of black bean turned into the consistency of a beef patty. The black beans in the patty are mushed up and fried and seasoned very well. The chipotle sauce reminded us kind of Big Mac sauce, and it adds a lot of familiarity to it, which we're also big fans of. The fresh slice of tomato and lettuce also paired wonderfully as well. It was a real winner. We also grabbed the Niçoise style salad for $10.99, which is crispy mixed greens, romaine, wedged potatoes, tomatoes, green beans, olives, white beans, and Dijon vinaigrette. We love how clearly we could hear the crunch as we stuck our fork in to take a bite, which let us know right off the bat to expect this one to be fresh. The tomatoes were juicy and burst in your mouth, and the olive slices add a little bit of flavor, while the green and white beans mostly added texture to the mix. We loved how crispy it was, and the Dijon vinaigrette was a big hit, but we do wish there was a little more of that dressing. We also enjoyed the potatoes in the dish. There's not a lot of them in the salad, but they hold their form until you bite into them, and then they fall apart in your mouth, which we liked. Let's hop on the monorail and take a quick trip over to Disney's Contemporary Resort to visit Contempo Cafe. We've got 2 brand new breakfast items that have appeared on the menu here, and we of course had to try them. First up is the breakfast burrito, which is a burrito made with scrambled egg, bacon, sausage, cheesy potato, and chipotle aioli for $9.49. This also comes served with potato barrels, those are tater tots, and those are just your usual Disney tots, crispy and salty. The burrito tastes just like a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, but without the biscuit. That tortilla, though, is fried and does a good job of keeping spillage to a minimum. It's also pretty tasty. We like that the burrito is served already cut in half, making it easier to eat when you're on the go. The egg is fluffy and moist, and we also appreciate the good amount of bacon chunks we got in our burrito. The star of this baby, though, is the cheese. The blend of melted cheeses is so creamy and delicious. However, we didn't taste much of the chipotle aioli, so it didn't have a noticeable kick if you're worried about spiciness. We also tried a new breakfast side, biscuits and gravy. This is made with buttermilk biscuits, house-made gravy, and chives for $4.49. So don't expect this to taste like your grandma's gravy. With that being said, though, this is still a nice homemade blend of creamy gravy and bits of spicy sausage. By spicy, we mean it reminded us of something like Italian sausage. The chives give the overall flavor a bit of zing. The biscuits are soft and pillowy, as biscuits should be. It's a smaller portion size. Again, it's a side, so if you're just looking for a lighter breakfast, this could be a good option for under $5. Overall, we'd say that these are two more quick, solid breakfast options in Disney World, which seems to be something we're seeing a lot more of at the hotels, and we're not complaining. Okay, the big thing happening this week in Disney World is that the newest ride, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, will be officially opening to the general public on Friday, June 28th. Of course, this ride has already been through lots of media previews, cast member and pass holder previews, but this week it's opening for everybody. So if you're going to be in Magic Kingdom on Friday, may the odds be ever in your favor. We, of course, will have some of our team in the park that day to keep an eye on wait times, see how the ride is operating, and more. So be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter to see the live updates. And remember, Tiana's will not be an individual Lightning Lane, but will fall into the Disney Genie Plus tier. So how will this affect Genie Plus prices? Well, I'll tell you in next Saturday's video, but if you're in Disney World this week, be prepared for a little jump in price. By the way, you can also join the Tiana's Bayou Adventure virtual queue. That's going to be open for at least a little while until the excitement starts to die down. A popular store at Disney Springs is now temporarily closed. According to the Disney World website, Ever After Jewelry Co. and Accessories is currently shut down. The jewelry store is closed on June 16th. It's listed as a temporary closure, but when we click through the store's hours for the next couple of months, no opening times have been listed yet. Right now, the calendar only goes through August 16th. The store may be closed for a few months, or it might be closed for a few days, and Disney just hasn't updated the website with the reopening date yet. We frequently do see stores close, whether it's permanently or temporarily, in Disney Springs. Sometimes they are replaced with a new store, other times the existing store is just updated and refurbished. We'll keep an eye out for you. And we've got exciting news in the DFB world. Looking for something unique to wear to Disney World? Well, we just dropped a whole new style in our shop. Baseball tees are now available. That's 48 new options for you. Our Disney baseball tee collection includes tees inspired by your favorite Disney rides, Disney characters, and more. You can check out the entire collection at dfbstore.com. For even more Disney news, follow us on social media at Disney Food Blog, and be sure to sign up for our free newsletter with the link in the description if you want all the news all week long. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.